is calling for you. The world is calling for you.
Canada has long been a top destination for international students. Its world-class education system and welcoming environment have attracted students from around the globe. However, recent announcements from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC, signal a shift in policy. The Canadian government is implementing new caps on study permits and changes to the Post-Graduation Work Permit, or PGWP program. These changes are designed to address specific challenges within Canada. However, they also raise concerns about the future of international students in the country. These changes are significant. They will impact both prospective and current international students. Understanding the details of these changes is crucial. This will help students navigate the evolving landscape of studying and working in Canada. This essay will delve into the specifics of these policy changes. It will explore the rationale behind them and analyze their potential impacts on various stakeholders. Finally, it will provide guidance for international students navigating these new rules. One of the most significant changes announced by IRCC is the introduction of caps on study permits. These caps will limit the number of study permits issued to international students each year. This is a departure from the previous system. Before, there were no limits on the number of international students accepted. The specific details of the caps, such as the exact number of permits to be issued and the programs affected, are still being finalized. However, the move towards capped intake signifies a clear intention to control the number of international students entering Canada. This shift has sparked debate and uncertainty. While some argue that caps are necessary to manage resources and ensure quality education for all, others fear that limiting international student intake could have detrimental effects on Canada's economy, cultural diversity, and global reputation. The Post-Graduation Work Permit, or PGWP, has been a cornerstone of Canada's attractiveness to international students. It allows graduates to gain valuable work experience in Canada after completing their studies. This experience can often pave the way for permanent residency. However, the PGWP program is also undergoing changes. While the core function of the PGWP remains, new requirements and eligibility criteria are being introduced. These changes aim to ensure that the program aligns with Canada's labour market needs, and that PGWP holders possess the necessary skills and language proficiency to succeed in the Canadian workplace. The details of these new requirements, such as specific language proficiency levels and eligible occupations, are still being determined. However, these changes signal a more stringent approach to the PGWP program, potentially making it more challenging for some international graduates to remain and work in Canada. Behind the curtain, understanding the government's rationale for the policy shift. The Canadian government's decision to implement study permit caps and changes to the Post-Graduation Work Permit, or PGWP, is multifaceted. This policy shift has sparked a lot of discussions and debates among various stakeholders, including students, educational institutions, and employers. The government cites several key factors driving these policy shifts. These factors are not only economic but also social and demographic, reflecting a comprehensive approach to addressing the challenges faced by the country. One primary reason is the need to address the rising cost of living in Canada, particularly in major cities. The cost of housing in particular has skyrocketed, making it difficult for many residents to find affordable accommodation. The influx of international students, coupled with other factors, has contributed to increased demand for housing and other essential services, making it challenging for Canadians and newcomers alike to afford a decent standard of living. This has led to a competitive housing market where prices are driven up, affecting the overall quality of life. Another factor is the government's focus on aligning immigration policies with labor market needs. The labor market in Canada is constantly evolving, and there is a need to ensure that the workforce is equipped with the necessary skills to meet these changes. By introducing stricter PGWP requirements, the government aims to ensure that international graduates entering the workforce possess the skills and qualifications in demand by Canadian employers, thus contributing more effectively to the Canadian economy. This move is intended to create a more balanced and sustainable labor market. Furthermore, the government highlights the importance of managing the overall intake of temporary residents, including international students, to maintain the integrity of the immigration system and ensure its sustainability in the long run. This involves careful planning and regulation to avoid overburdening public services and infrastructure. The policy shift is also seen as a way to foster a more inclusive and equitable society. By managing the number of international students and temporary residents, the government aims to provide better opportunities for all residents, ensuring that everyone has access to the resources they need to thrive. In conclusion, the Canadian government's rationale for the policy shift is rooted in a desire to balance economic growth with social stability. By addressing the rising cost of living, aligning immigration policies with labor market needs, and managing the intake of temporary residents, the government hopes to create a more sustainable and prosperous future for all Canadians. Voices of concern. Stakeholders raise questions about potential impacts. The announcement of study permit caps and PGWP changes has sparked mixed reactions from various stakeholders. This decision has sent ripples through multiple sectors, each with its own set of concerns and viewpoints. While some acknowledge the rationale behind the government's decision, citing the need for better regulation and management of resources, others express concerns about the potential negative impacts of these changes. The debate is heated, with strong arguments on both sides. Universities and colleges, which rely heavily on international student enrollment, worry about the financial implications of reduced intake. These institutions depend on the revenue generated from international students to fund various programs and initiatives. International students often pay significantly higher tuition fees than domestic students, providing a vital source of funding for educational institutions. This funding supports not only academic programs but also campus facilities and student services. Businesses, particularly those in sectors facing labor shortages, also express concerns. They rely on the influx of international graduates to fill critical roles and maintain productivity. They argue that restricting the PGWP program could limit their access to a valuable pool of skilled workers, potentially hindering economic growth and innovation. The tech industry in particular fears a slowdown in innovation and competitiveness. Furthermore, advocates for international students raise concerns about the message these changes send to the world. They worry that such policies could deter prospective students from choosing Canada as their study destination. They argue that tightening restrictions could portray Canada as less welcoming to global talent, potentially harming its reputation as a top destination for education and immigration. This could have long-term effects on Canada's cultural diversity and international standing. As the debate continues, government officials are urged to consider the broader implications of their policies. Stakeholders from all sectors are calling for a balanced approach that addresses regulatory needs without compromising Canada's appeal to international students and skilled workers. The outcome of this debate will shape the future of Canada's educational landscape and its position in the global economy. It remains to be seen how these changes will unfold and what adjustments, if any, will be made in response to the concerns raised. The ripple effect, analyzing the broader implications for Canada. The implementation of study permit caps and changes to the post-graduation work permit PGWP program has the potential to create a ripple effect across various aspects of Canadian society and the economy. These changes are not just administrative adjustments. They have far-reaching consequences that could reshape the landscape of Canada in multiple ways. One significant implication is the impact on Canada's demographics. International students and PGWP holders play a crucial role in the demographic makeup of the country. They bring in fresh perspectives, new ideas, and a variety of cultural backgrounds that enrich the Canadian mosaic. International students and PGWP holders contribute significantly to Canada's population growth and cultural diversity. They participate in local communities, celebrate cultural festivals, and often become long-term residents who integrate into Canadian society. Their presence helps to create a more vibrant and inclusive community. Limiting their intake could lead to a less diverse society and a slower pace of population growth. This in turn could have a cascading effect on various sectors, including housing, healthcare, and social services. A slower population growth rate could also mean a smaller workforce, which might impact Canada's long-term economic prosperity and its ability to sustain social programs. Another implication is the potential impact on Canada's global standing in the field of education. Canadian universities and colleges are renowned for their high-quality education and diverse student bodies. International students contribute to the academic environment by bringing different viewpoints and fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration. As a renowned destination for international students, Canada benefits immensely from the cultural exchange, innovation, and global perspectives that these students bring. They often engage in research projects, startup ventures, and community initiatives that have a lasting impact on Canadian society. Tightening restrictions could make Canada less attractive to prospective international students, potentially leading to a decline in the quality and diversity of its educational institutions. This could also affect the financial stability of these institutions, as international students often pay higher tuition fees, which help fund various academic programs and research initiatives. Furthermore, the changes could affect Canada's ability to attract and retain global talent. International students and graduates are a vital part of the Canadian workforce. They bring specialized skills, knowledge, and a global outlook that are essential for the country's economic growth and competitiveness. International graduates who gain work experience in Canada through the PGWP program often transition to permanent residency. They contribute their skills and expertise to the Canadian workforce, filling gaps in various industries and helping to drive innovation and productivity. Limiting this pathway could make it more challenging for Canada to compete for top talent in the global market. In an increasingly interconnected world, the ability to attract and retain skilled professionals is crucial for maintaining a competitive edge. By restricting these opportunities, Canada risks losing out on the very talent that could help propel its economy and society forward.